Well, hello my fellow car maulers, how you doing again? We're back with this kit. Yeah, we're going to fix that little issue. That's what this video is about. And I got a couple things to say to some of you that commented. I'm gonna be nice, don't worry. Alright, so I'm just gonna get the body out of this thing because that's all we're gonna do is we're gonna mess with that parting line. And I'm gonna show you how I did fix it on that orange one I did. I appreciate all the comments, first of all. Some of you guys got a little off with me because either you didn't watch the whole video all the way through and some were mad at me. It was kind of interesting, or kind of, you know, looked at just what I put in the thumbnail, and you were like, "Arr." Go over to that video and check out the comments. There's one that I pinned that was from Rattle Can Shenanigans. Here you go. Let me just read this. I pinned this one because it was like primo. I was hesitant to click on the thumbnail because you were talking about one of my favorite kits here. But after watching, you're absolutely right. Revell's two-door post Bel Air kit has the same stupid mold line, and if you check the final in the video series that I did when I built it, I pretty much obliterated that character line. When I built the Black Widow, I made sure to place Tamiya tape along that spine and then block sanded the rest away, ensuring that we preserved the quarter panel lines. What he's talking about there. I'm sure there are other easier and or big-brained ways to go about it, but I never claimed to be a smart man, just one who knows how to work with the junk he has in front of him. Well, no, old Rattle Can Shenanigans, my pal there. That's exactly how I did it. Now, I had all kinds of, you know, super nice everybody. They're all trying to give me advice, tell me how to fix it and all that stuff. But if you would have watched the video, you would have seen this. I've already built the car, and I did fix it. What I was saying was that I hated that a lot. That's all I was saying. Didn't say I didn't know how to get rid of it. I just said it sucks. But the moral, and this is where the haters came in. It was really funny. Everybody, just saying that, I'm just building, I'm complaining, it's people like you complain about kits and should be great. And it's like, oh yeah, I wonder where I've heard that from. Yeah. The moral of the story of that video was that I built that one. I was so happy when this kit came out because I always wanted to build one of these postcars. And this put me off so bad when I built that first one that I was like, I'm never going to build it again. And I just blew off all my opportunities to ever buy the kit again. Now that the kit has been hard to get a hold of, I was starting to wish I had it. All of a sudden, it's not so bad. So it's kind of the moral story is don't deny yourself something. Kind of get over it. It's a great kit. And go ahead and buy whatever kit is out there. If it needs a little work, if you were mad at it or whatever, don't let that keep you from building that model that you want to build. You have this dream of doing I always refer to this one because it gets so much hate, the MPC 72 GTO. Well, if you want to build a 72 GTO or a 70 GTO because you would want to get from Luka Cee products, that kit right there, go ahead and do it, man. It's the only way you're going to have a GTO, so just go for it, man. We're modelers. Have fun with it. It's a challenge. Get another kit and kit bash it with it. There's a ton of kits you can use to make that model great. But we're going to talk about this model, and I'm going to go over what I did to kind of fix that and get rid of that. And it's simple, and I did it exactly what Rattle Can Shenanigans, go check his channel out, by the way, what he did. that's exactly what I did. I just took some tape. You could use what he was suggesting, the Tamiya fine line or whatever, but I just took the tape, and it's really close. That's the hard part, but I got right onto that line right there. And what that does, my friends, let's make sure we got it. That protects. When you're sanding, it protects that from sanding away that character line we want to keep, because we have to keep that. That's essential to the 57 Chevy. And to you guys, there's a couple out there that said, I'm stupid, this is not a 57 Chevy, this is clearly a 55 Chevy. Dudes, before you blow your mouth off, do your research. Don't look like a fool to the world. This is definitely a 57 Chevy. It says 57 Chevy on the box. It's a 57 Chevy. They had this on here for the Lone Line trim level, which is the 150 utility sedan. They had a bunch of those left over from the 55s, and they stuck them on. I'm sure that's what it is. I don't know the reason. Who knows? Who cares? Be careful of what you put down, because it's, you know, basically on the internet forever. And you see what I'm doing right here while I'm complaining about these people? I'm getting in there and I'm just getting my thumbnail and I'm just kind of pushing the tape totally around, all the way down around into the fender of that character line. So we're not going to hurt that character line at all. Anyways, like I was saying, go ahead and do your research. That's the beautiful thing about Google. And look up pictures of 57 Chevys, and you would find about what you're about to say is so frickin' wrong. Oh my goodness. You got a sanding pad. You're just going to make yourself look like a silly old fool. So these are sanding pads. This is the 1000 to 800 ultra fine from Norton. But if you buy your sanding pads, the Tamiya ones, they're pretty much the same exact thing. Like this right here. There's also 3M fine line. These particular ones are 800 to 1000. I got them because I used to be in the body shop business, and I still just have so many of them. I'm going to cut this piece off here. But yeah, the Tamiya, that's pretty much what the Tamiya pads are. So I'm just going to get in there. I'm going to sand that sucker down. Just sand it off. Get rid of that thing, and I can go right on the tape there, because, and don't push down too hard, because you don't want to sand that tape away. Then you'll start digging into your character line. But that will pretty much take care of your character line, and then won't sand it away, and you'll start to get rid of the line. You can see it still there. Another thing, and a few people who were trying to give me hints on how to fix this, they say also use these scrapers, which is also a good thing. And you can kind of let it, you got to be careful it won't peel the tape off. You can go down there and kind of take some of that off there. I'm just lightly going across it just to take some of that line off of there. Get rid of it. See him? There it is right there. Let's get back into sanding. See, we're pretty much getting that baby gone. Now, what you're going to want to do to prevent it from ghosting back at you, and this is kind of anytime you sand emblems off, sand parting lines, take out the copyrights that are under in the chassis there, they tend to ghost back sometimes. You don't really get them taken care of. The trick to that, and what I'll eventually do with this, we're not going to cover it in this video, but one day I am going to do one on this, is basically your proper priming and sanding. There's a lot of misuse of primer in the model car world, and that's something we'll cover later on. But the trick with primer is, first of all, you don't want to take your styrene being just bare like that and then shoot primer on it and then shoot paint. you got to do some sanding. I will scuff an entire body. After I do stuff like this, it'll get scuffed. Then you shoot your primer, and especially when you have body work or any changes like that, you want to primer. You want to do some wet sanding with the pads. Work great. That's about 1,000 grit. Prime, sand, and then your final prime when you can totally see, because you'll see in the primer if that line is still showing. Wet sand too, like I said, wet sanding there's a big difference. You gotta wet sand your primer. You kind of want to go with even a higher grid than 1,000. 1,000 is enough. You're going to see scratches on model cars depending on the paint you use. A lot of your model paint, your Tamiya, or any of your enamels that you use, you're going to want to sand up even to, I sand to about 3,200 with my buffing sanding, sometimes even higher. It's been talked about. I was told I was wrong. I was told that the man who was talking about it a few weeks ago is a horrible liar. Not true. He suggests going all the way up to 120,000. Not too bad to do with models. It depends on the paint you're using. In automotive world, because a lot of guys who say, oh no, that's wrong. In the automotive world, that is wrong. And these guys all say, I've been in the automotive industry, and you don't want to sand that light because then the paint won't grab and take a bite into the primer. Well, it's different with model cars. It's all in scale, and you got to get your sandpaper scratches down to scale. And that means you're going with, like I have these old micro mesh, I still have them. You keep them clean, they'll last you forever. But it's almost time for me to start buying new ones. But yeah, I go to about 32. Sometimes I'll go even to 4,000. And I'll sand. I have never had, or paint, and I'll never have problems. But the trick to this, I'm getting off a little bit. It's kind of a tangent night, I guess. I don't know. It's Friday night. We're partying. So, we got that pretty well gone. I'm actually going to take, let's see, I've got 1,500 right here. I'm going to take a little bit of 1,500, I think. And I'm going to fold it. I like to have a nice rounded straight edge. Just get in there and just work on that. Get that thing gone. But the trick, you prime it, you wet sand. You prime it, you wet sand. And I know it's going to be a pain because you got to put this tape on. So you make sure this tape right here that I'm using, this is Scotch. I'm not a huge fan of this. I usually prefer to get 3M green. The blue, which I have 3M blue here, this is a low tack. That's dangerous. It'll come off of you. But the thing about the green can handle wet sanding. I mean, you can't drench it, but when I say wet sanding, you go ahead. I have a little thing right here always that I fill with water for either decals or my wet sanding. I just dip and sand. Dip and sand. I don't really have the water flowing over it for something like this. But if you look, so we've been working on this, and see that this tape here is tough. It's not sanding through. It's protecting that deal, and we have pretty much got that knocked down. I'm gonna just do a quick run across here, the pad one more time, and I'm going to do this, and we're going to do the reveal. Alrighty. It looks pretty good. See that? We still got a little right there to go. Sometimes, you can get in there, especially when you have it folded like that. Just real carefully. Kind of get up there and sand in there. But here we go. So there, right there. Can you see that? We've got our line on this side. We've pretty much well got it beat. Needs a little more. But I think at this point what we have to do, you get your finger in there and see if you can feel it. You can feel it in a few little places. I'm just going to be real careful. I'm not doing a lot of aggressive sanding, so I'm not too worried about killing that line. I'm That's why it's nice to have a nice straight cut, if you can, of either your sandpaper, like what I do here, that folding around. And then you also, and that when you fold around, then you have sandpaper that goes all the way around, or your pad you can get in there and really work it.
You're watching the Luka Cee channel on YouTube.
And just a little touch-up pass here. Just take your time, get close to that line right there. Just to do a little bit. This is with the 1500 grit. And I'm thinking at that point in time, we've got it down pretty good to where you're going to want a primer. The primer is going to show that if there's any more showing, and also primer is going to fit and fill into any little divots and grooves or imperfections. And then when you sand the primer, it'll level out. And then you want to do another prime, and then another sand, and another prime, because if you prime, sand, prime, it eventually builds it all up, and it'll be really nice. It'll be perfect. But you can see right there already, we've got ourselves such a huge difference from that to this thing right here. You can really see that parting line right there, but we've pretty much gotten this one gone. It could use a little bit more. That's it. That's really what I wanted to show you. I know how to do it. It can be done. It just was irritating to me. It was extremely irritating to me, and I decided I was not going to ever get this model kit again. I later on regretted that decision when you couldn't find these things anywhere except for a whole lot of money. Now, I got to say something here. I heard that Revell is going to re-release the other version of this kit, which was the 210, which had that typical 57 Chevy, you know, that we all know, the 57 Chevy right down the whole car with the wing kind of fill, whatever you call the fan or whatever. You guys down in the comments, you'll correct me, I guarantee it. By all means, correct me down in the comments below, because other people are going to want to know. I'm going to say right here, hey, I'm not sure. So you can check down in the comments. That's what's great about all the great knowledgeable people out there. They will let you know and share their knowledge with us. So that's all that has to be done. Takes a little bit of time. It's a bit of a pain. There's even more that has to be done. I have to put more work into that. It sucks, but it's model building. And, you know, it's the hobby that we chose to enjoy ourselves with. I think it's very satisfying when you put that work in and you have it the project done and it looks beautiful and you don't see that parting line there and you know what it took to do it. It's pretty satisfying. So, you know, instead of going, that was just a pain, I'm never buying this kit again, that's ridiculous thinking. So no, I'm not kicking this kit at all. I love this. That's too beautiful of a car to never build again. I am going to move along. I have got to get back onto my USAC build. Boom, I got the chassis primered. I got to put the 57 Chevy away. I just wanted to show you guys, and now you're just getting a little preview here of what I've been working on. But I'm doing a video right now of my GTX, the X, the lime green X. Remember, it's a drag car. Real quick. And what the heck, long as we're here, just for a little preview. I got enough room to put the slicks in. These are the slicks, not these exact ones, but it's these particular slicks I want to use. And that's not the wheel I'm going to use, but it gives you a good look. Who knows? Man, I don't know. I'm starting to think a set of these gold super lights, that might look pretty cool. I was going to go with center lines, but gee whiz, that's kind of neat. I got another pair right here. I'm sure I could find the fronts. That might be the route to go. Oh boy, I just opened up a can of worms. Anyways, that video's coming. We've been working on it. I got some trick stuff I'm doing with narrowing that rear end. I'm gotta finish my tubs up in here and do some more work and a little bit of dialing into the paint work under here. I'll explain what those two little red dots are. That's dumbness right there. But anyways, Thanks for watching. I'm having fun with these. These model cars are a blast, and that's why we build them, right? Why is it? What's that? What'd you all say? Why do we build model cars? Why? Because they're fun. Here's the producers.